So Scott, obviously quite the night. Just can you talk a little bit about first Patricio Pitbull getting the title back?
I mean, listen, the judges saw the way they saw it, and he's the new champ. And as far as I'm concerned, he deserves it. I think there was a very close fight. It was a technical fight, and you know, it's not my job to judge. It's for the judges and the State Athletic Commission to work on that, or to work that out, and that's what happened. It's like, you know, that's what you saw. You saw, you know, the judges call the fight the way they did. I did think it was very close, and I was sitting around some of my friends and saying, "What do you think?" Half of them said AJ, half of them said Pitbull. It was very close.
Obviously, there'll be a lot to discuss, but I think people really want your thoughts on the co-main event and just what happens next for both Vadim Nemkov and Corey Anderson.
Well, I have to be very careful because I see Ali over here, so he's going to give me the stink eye. No, but you know what? It's unfortunate the way that fight ended. I was surprised. I didn't realize that his cut was so deep to the bone, because I was asking Andy Foster, well, what happened? There's only 3 or 4 seconds left. You know, why couldn't they finish the fight? And he said, no, the damage is too much, and we couldn't safely move forward. So they have the rule here where it has to go 3 rounds to have a decision. So there's no tournament champion. So what we're going to do is we're going to regroup. We're going to put that fight together in the next, I would say, 3-4 months, as soon as everybody's healthy and ready to go. Everybody get a good camp in, but we're definitely going to rerun that fight. And I'd say, you know, probably sometime in the late summer, maybe.
When Corey was back here, he mentioned that Vadim had a broken orbital. Are you able to confirm that? Do you know if that's the case?
No, I'm not able to confirm that. Okay.
What's going on, Scott? So obviously, crazy ending to both the main and co-main event. But speaking of the co-main event, what's the protocol going forward when fights stop in not clear decisions? So to say a disqualification or something like that, really controversial. Does the $1 million check move on, or is it just going to be?
No, but that's a very good question. And when we laid out the rules, basically, you have to win the tournament to win the money, because the tournament prize is on top of the regular purses that they get paid. So both sides get paid their normal contract pay. And the $1 million is actually just the bonus check on top of the regular pay. So in order to win that money, you have to win the fight, or be the champ. So there's no champ here pick. So it'll continue on. But we will give the $1 million check when we continue the tournament in sometime in, let's say, August or September.
Hey, Scott, I was just hoping you could maybe reflect on Corey Anderson's Bellator career so far. It seemed like many people had him as an underdog when he was brought in, and then such a performance tonight before that cut. I mean, what do you make of over time through the 4 fights he's had?
I'll tell you, he is dangerous. I've watched this guy, and when he first came into Bellator, he fought Yaz, I believe, was his first fight. And I said, this guy is dangerous, because I thought he was losing that fight in the first round, and then he came back and then took it to him and finished the fight. He's dangerous. I think what you saw today, he was, you know, there was 1 round per athlete on the scorecards. They didn't judge the 3rd round, but I think the tide was starting to turn Corey's way, and you know, unfortunately, the fight was stopped and there's no decision.
I'm also curious about AJ McKee and your thoughts on maybe his divided attention. He's done a lot of speaking about other athletes and very, very obviously confident. But do you think that maybe it worked against him a little bit tonight?
You know, I think part of that is, you know, just, you know, some ring rust in what you see, because he hasn't fought in a while, right? And so, you know, listen, he's a young kid. He'll go back, he'll train again, and he'll rebound. And don't underestimate Pitbull, because here's the guy, I'm telling you, this guy, every night when he went to sleep for the last 8 months, is thinking about this guy. You know, Pitbull is thinking about every day he wakes up, goes to sleep, training. He's got a target on AJ, because this guy is a competitor and a warrior and has been a great champion for us. So I think what you saw today was, you know, Pitbull able to come back and shine and have his moments. And, you know, I think that AJ will be back soon.
What's up, Scott? Thanks for joining us. What were your thoughts on the Linton-Tim Johnson bout, and have you seen a better comeback from somebody under the Bellator banner this year?
Yeah, you know what? That was a crazy fight. And when he jumped on him, I thought it was over. You know, I thought when he hit him and knocked him down, and then Tim just rushed him, almost like a football player, like to me, and just trying to ram him. And then it didn't work out at the very end, right? Yeah. But Linton is a seasoned veteran, and it's I'm not surprised that he was able to turn it around. And with heavyweights, you never know. One punch, one knee, one wrong move, it could change the tide right away. So I think that's what you saw.
And Adley Edwards showed some true grit, some heart tonight. He put on a pretty good performance. What's next for him? Are we going to see him again fighting for Bellator?
Who's who? I didn't hear that.
Adley Edwards.
Adley Edwards.
Pico's opponent.
Yeah, you know what? I tell you, that guy deserves a medal on his own, because that guy took the fight on 2-week notice because of an injury, and he came to fight. And I thought for sure he was going to get stopped in the first, second round, and he just kept going and going. And I got to give it to him, man. He's a tough kid, and we'll give him another shot for sure.
So with McKee and Pitbull 1 fight apiece, I assume a trilogy is in the plans. And if it is, what does the other top contender in Adam Boric do?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, listen, I'm going to go back. I'm going to watch this fight and talk to my team. But as much as we would love to see a rematch, let's see how that goes. I can't really answer that question, but if all parties want to do that, we might do it, but it's not guaranteed. Adam Bork's great against Mads Burnell. He had a great performance. That was an amazing fight, and we'll see.
Hey, Scott. Great event. A lot of people online are curious because AJ's been so outspoken about his contract and being on a championship clause. Is he a free agent now that he lost?
Yeah, I don't believe so. I don't have all the details in front of me, but I'm not sure.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And then Aaron Pico, he's continuing to rack up these wins. Do you feel like he's at the point now where he can start headlining some fights for you guys, or being in a real kind of title contention conversation?
Yeah, absolutely. We have a lot of confidence in Aaron Pico. Aaron Pico is he is a guy that's getting better and better and improving, his complete MMA skills. And, whether he fights in the top 4, top 3, I think it's just going to be a matter of time.
Scott, any updates on Amosov, your welterweight champion? He was last seen going back to Ukraine to defend against the invasion.
I'm sure everybody saw the picture of him in his platoon and and him going into the catacombs of the building, coming out with his belt. I mean, really, I was speechless when I saw that. It really was just a crazy visual just to see. It's almost surreal, like when you watch it. And then you realize like the world's not the same anymore, right? Because it's a different planet right now. So we are in communication. He is a fighter that, as you guys know, was supposed to fight MVP. He was in Thailand training. He called us, said he's going to go home and he's going to take care of his family and get him situated. And then he went back to the Ukraine, and we thought he was going to go back to Thailand and train. But he called and said, no, I'm going to stay here and I'm going to fight, in the Ukraine. So we aren't in touch with him every day. He's, periodically he reaches out and sends us some just crazy videos that it's just unbelievable, the destruction that's been going on. And I wish him to be be healthy and be safe, and when he's ready we'll have him back. But the gentleman's on a mission. He is a fighter, man, and he's a true warrior, and I got to give my hat up to him.
And currently you have 2 Brazilian champions. I believe there's supposed to maybe at some point be a card in Russia. That's not happening anymore. Have you guys talked about maybe finally having a card in Brazil?
Yeah, so we have 3 Brazilian champions. You forgot about Cyborg.
Sorry. Oops.
Yeah, so we have 3 Brazilian champions. And I would say the answer is yes. We are in the process of finalizing a new distribution deal throughout Latin America, which will include Brazil. For next year, I believe that we will be there sometime in 23. This is something that was not new, because if COVID didn't hit, I think I've said this before, if COVID didn't hit, we would already be there now. We identified Brazil obviously because of the champions that we have, the fan base, and how popular MMA is there. We would already be in Brazil if it wasn't for COVID.
Hey, Scott. AJ made so much of being undefeated. It's been a big part of his, persona and personality. How do you expect him to respond to this result?
Boy, I think you're going to find out in about 10 minutes, right? He's going to walk in here, and for me, I'm not sure. Listen, he's a nice kid. He's all these these guys that fight at this level, they have a certain swagger about them. I'm sure he's going to feel a certain way about the decision, and you guys can have an honest conversation with him, and he can tell you how he feels.